this is probably where I'll get emotional. One night, I'm chilling on the bed, and literally I held a bottle of pills in my hand. Alcohol. It's like, what do you do with yourself? Do you want to live or do you want to die?
Would you ever date a fat dude?
I'm going to be honest.
All right, so Tracy, as I read your story, I fought back tears. It was something that I resonated really deeply with parts of your journey. And I first and foremost want to thank you for being brave. Like, this takes courage. This is not something that a lot of people would sign up for. And on behalf of my audience and every person that will receive this, I want to thank you first and foremost. There are so many people who need to hear your story, who need to hear that they're not alone with some of the stuff that you've been through that led you to who you are today and what you look like today, right? I was telling my producer that I used to see you in the gym a lot, and you had this like intensity about you, right? I said, Tracy, go hard, right? You go hard, you train hard, you got this focus about you, you got this confident energy about you where you're just in your own zone. And I've always peeped that. I've always admired that about you, right? And I've always been curious, but you know how it is. Like, you don't want to just approach people. And so let's back up. Were you always overweight, or did you gain weight over time?
Because I had twins, you know, and I actually lost weight during my pregnancy, which is weird. And then after I had my kids, the weight just came on about 6 months later, like really came on.
So it was post the twins that you put on most of the weight. So what was your heaviest weight?
Between 220 and 233.
So you got up to 233 pounds. So what do you weigh right now?
Right now?
Well, just like, what do you average?
65.
165?
On a good day.
Okay, yeah, I know how that fluctuates. It could be 160, it could be 170. Yeah, for me, my weight fluctuates within this like 15 pound, 20 pound window, so I get it. So your heaviest was around 230, and you average around 160, 165, right? So that's 60, 70 pounds.
All right, but see, here's a kicker though.
Please pardon the interruption, but this video is sponsored by the 12-week Simple Transformation Jumpstart Program, which is the most comprehensive weight loss program on the internet. Everything you need from mindset to nutrition to exercise, all neatly organized in an easy to follow PDF document. Click the link in the description to get some more information.
All right, but see, here's a kicker though. See, this is my second weight loss. This is the first one. Around that time, I went to 233 to actually 147. I really wanted to get into that police department, and I was not about to not pass that physical agility test.
So that was the initial driving force for you.
Oh yeah,
was wanting to be a police officer.
Because a week before my house got broken into, I came home, ran them off, and the next week I'm like, I can't live like this. Like, we were in Section 8, living off of $700 a month. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I need to get into this job. Like this, I have to. And I went in the mirror one day, like everybody was asleep. I got up and I looked in the mirror, got naked, and looked at my body and just looked how disgusted I was. And like, this can't be my life, like I've never been that heavy. And got my bank info, got in the car, and just drove to the nearest Planet Fitness out in Hampton.
Right there in the moment.
Right there in the moment.
So what was this? What you would consider your breaking point, right? Where you were like, yo, enough is enough. You looked in the mirror with disgust, and you felt this intense calling to take some action right then and there, right?
Yeah,
was that moment for you?
I felt like I had to do it. Like, I had to turn my life around. Like, I had to get serious.
So the thing that was driving you, so initially you said you had that moment in the mirror, right? You felt you were disappointed with yourself, but you also connected getting out of your financial rut and being able to help provide for your family. You connected that to getting in shape, right? So talk to me a little bit about that.
I really wanted to do something with my life, do something better for my children, for their dad, because he was busting himself taking care of us. And here I am, no job, just in school, play in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I went in the gym and I'm thinking about my life. Like, we gotta get up out of here. So every weight I would pick up, treadmill, I was on there for an hour at a time. Like, I would spend 3 hours to 30 minutes in the gym.
3 hours and 30 minutes in the gym every session?
5 to 6 days a week.
What?
I would go at night. I would go in between classes. My school, Bryan Stratton College, was like right there by Planet Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I was done with a morning class, go. As soon as I was done with a night class, went.
Really? So I kind of talk against that level of intensity, right? Because I'm pretty sure, and I think it's important for us to talk a little bit about how some of the downsides of approaching it with such vigor, right? So would you suggest people doing that?
No. Like, back then, I mean, I had no guidance at all. I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
So when I set my mind to something, I'm there. You ain't gonna take me nowhere else. And over time, I slowed up with that. Like 2 hours is the minimum I go now.
Yeah,
I know that's still a stretch, but I couldn't do 3 hours and 30 minutes. But that's just how, I guess you could say, driven. Like, I needed to lose that weight. I never got that big, and I felt like it was so much riding on. I mean, my house got broken into. I'm driving this beat down, run down rodeo, and I pray it takes me where I got to go. I almost got kicked out of school because I just wasn't focused enough. So I had to get everything straight. Like, that was like my only control.
So the thing that was driving you was getting out of that situation that you were currently. Do you think someone can make such a drastic transformation to their lifestyle, right, to their relationship with food, without having something besides the desire to look good driving them?
I think it takes a lot more than that. Like, it has to be deep down. It's way more than looking good. 'Cause I didn't even really care about looking good because, I had somebody who loved me and he put on weight because I was putting on weight. So clearly that wasn't the case, And I'll tell you what really is, after he died in August 2018, I stopped everything. I stopped working out. I stopped caring about how I looked. I stopped caring about life. Drank, took pills that I wasn't supposed to, And there was a time I almost overdosed twice. And you gotta sit back and think, like, what is life? People saw me wasting away.
You had 2 weight loss journeys, right? So the first time you said you kind of went all the way down to 140 something, and then when your kid's father passed, you went into this deep depression, and then you put all of the weight back, right? And then you had to,
in months, 3 months, gained it all back.
So how long did it take you to lose it in the first place?
In the first
it
took me
round,
14 months.
And then you gained it all back in 3 months.
After 5 years of holding it all off.
So you had it off for 5 years. Wow. Okay, so you felt defeated, I'm sure. Once you had the awareness of you had put all the weight back on, you were in this dark place, your child's father passed, and you were depressed, you were abusing drugs and alcohol. That moment that you decided to turn the ship around. Talk to me a little bit about what that moment was like, or was it a moment? Was it like, how'd you turn it around?
This is probably where I'll get emotional. One night, I'm chilling on the bed, and literally I held a bottle of pills in my hand. Alcohol. It's like, what do you do with yourself? Do you want to live or do you want to die? And I literally questioned that myself. And next day, I don't know, I just put on my gym clothes and went back to the gym, and I started going at night where I didn't have to run into anybody. I still wasn't progressing, I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? And
so when you say you weren't progressing, that's in reference to what?
It's like I hit a plateau as soon as I started. It's like I had a mental block. And that's when it kind of came to, what can drive you, girl? And I thought about all the pain I had to suffer these last few years. And I had to think about, he was big on fitness. You know, like I said, he gained the weight because I gained the weight just to make me feel better. Once I lost it, he lost it. And he was so proud of me to see me stick to it, because he was there when I kind of tiptoed with it and didn't stick with it at first. I mean, he was the one saying, come on, do a pull-up, like we at the house. Come on, do me a pull-up. I couldn't even get a half a pull-up. And now I can do 7. You know, I'm working toward that 10. You know, I do everything else up there, but...
So is he still a big part of what drives you today, right? So that intensity that I see you walking around in the gym with is fueled by the memory of him, right?
Yeah, like, it's pain that drives me now. And it's good pain, it's bad pain. You know, I pray to God when I work out. Like, you know, that's my therapy. Like, when people say the gym is gym therapy, like, yes, it truly is. Like,
I agree.
Like, I don't need a gym, because during quarantine, I ain't gonna front. 2 weeks, I was eating them donuts.
Yeah, facts.
Krispy Kreme knew me well
Facts.
at that drive-thru.
Me too.
But I started to feel like, nope, you can't go back. And during quarantine, went and bought me equipment that I was trying not to buy. Went ahead and bought it anyway, and got to work in my garage. Like, I got a hill where I live at, running up the hill. Like, I was gonna make do. Like, I was not about to die, and it felt like I died twice and came back.
So let me ask you this: how did you learn about the process of weight loss? Like, what was that journey like in educating yourself?
And I'll say this: initially, I had no knowledge of anything, so I just YouTubed everything. Lauren London, this one woman, her workout videos, she was a beast for the at-home stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna kind of see what she's doing and add my own twist to it. So nutrition, did my research with that. Just Google your best friend.
Straight up.
Because I didn't know anything. And so the second time around, it's like, all right, you don't want to be so strict. Because that first time, I went into my kitchen after I left that gym, and I dumped out half my kitchen and put in new groceries.
Yeah. See, and I'm glad you mentioned that, and I think that's important for us to highlight. The first time around, you were super strict. You didn't have much balance, I'm sure, in your diet. You went dumb hard in the gym. Were you even lifting weights?
Nope. I was complete cardio.
Just cardio bunny,
45 minutes to 50 minutes. I did a lot of movement stuff, but I wasn't doing pull-ups, push-ups, 105-pound weights, thinking that was something.
I mean, you were doing something, right? So let's not discount that.
No,
but the second,
like it was 25 pounds.
Yeah, but the second time around, you focused mainly on like weight training, right? And that was an empowering experience for you, right? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, to do a push-up and not the wide. I wanted to challenge myself. You know, I want to kind of break that stigma with us women. We do the wide ones, knee push-ups. Like, no, ladies, we can be strong too.
And I be seeing you in there getting it. Like, I see you doing your push-ups.
This was a vengeance. This second time around, I was not playing. I did not want to come back and to be on that same level I was before. My whole mindset is different. I had to take off from my career to get my mind right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, if I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna come back harder. And I had to humble myself at first, because I couldn't do half of what I could do before.
Yeah.
You know?
So 2 things I wanna talk about, right? You said you had to get your mind right, and that's such a understated or underspoken about aspect of weight loss, right? And that's what I particularly consider myself an expert in the psychology of weight loss. I actually have a program where I teach people the mindset behind weight loss. Like, everyone's teaching the mechanics.
Right.
Everyone is teaching what to eat, how to exercise, what sort of workouts, and all that stuff's important. But none of that matters if you don't have your mind right. So the link to that is in the description, guys. Check that out. I also have the 12-week transformation jumpstart program. All that can be, all the information can be found in the description. All right, so let me ask you this. Let's switch gears a little bit. Would you ever date a fat dude?
I'm gonna be honest. It's like 50-50. Only because...
Yes or no? And it's okay. It's okay.
You know what? Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay, so what made it 50-50?
I'm very big now on health. My mother, with her obesity, seeing her, late in age getting gastric bypass surgery and seeing the effects with that. Seeing how my father with his health and the effects of that. And with my children's father, with his health, there was a point in time, like I said, he was heavy and then he lost the weight. I knew him back when he was heavy. And when we first reunited, I was expecting to see a heavy guy and he was, caught me off guard. The reason why it would be 50-50 is because if they don't value themselves enough, then how can we value each other? This is a big
Powerful.
part of my life.
Yeah.
And it saved me. And I don't want to be somebody to be like pressuring somebody to be in the type of lane I'm in. If you're not ready to be in that lane, fine. But I am an encouraging type of person. I'm going to try and encourage you. I'm going to try and drop hints. You're going to see me always in the gym. You want to hang out? Yeah, come with me to the gym. That's my dating life.
Yeah.
Me and the barbells, okay?
Don't overthink. Start where you are. Find a way to make some sort of step, whether that's for you, it was in the middle of the night driving to Planet Fitness and signing up for your membership right there in that moment. You didn't think too much. You was like, all right, let me just do this, right?
Yeah.
Take a step and find another way to make another step, right? Another day, right? Just keep inching towards it, and then eventually you'll find your footing, and eventually you'll find your flow.
Even when it feels like you're not finding it, that's right when you're close to it. The moment you feel like it's not there,
Yep.
it's there.
Yep. Just the action, and that's one thing I admire about you, is you're an action taker, right? You've dealt with a lot of adversity in your life. You've overcome a lot, and you chose a perspective on it that empowers you. And that's why I feel honored to be sharing my platform with you, because people like you need to be celebrated and highlighted, because we all have that in us. We all have that courage buried deep inside of us, but a lot of it is underneath all of the trauma. It's underneath all of the fear. It's underneath all of the conditioning, right? We may have parents who didn't empower us, who talk down to us. We may have spouses who don't believe in us, or whatever the case may be. But underneath all of that is the ability to achieve what you and I have achieved. We've not just transformed our bodies, but we've taken control of our lives, right? So I want to salute you. I want to congratulate you on the success, because you know what success is? You are fulfilled. You are taking steps towards continuing to evolve and to grow as a person. You are, like you said, a better mom, a better friend, a better daughter. And that is success. That is success. So salute to you, Queen. Truly.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Salute. And thank you for doing this with me.